Alright guys, we're back for another round of draw and review. Well, actually, this is more of a paint review, I guess, but that doesn't sound as clean, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna be a bit more quick and to the point about the movie itself this time, so I can talk a little bit more about my creative process here. You know, seeing as this really is about the art at the end of the day. But with that said, I suggest you buckle up and get ready, because we're talking about Sinners. Now, picture this. 1930s Mississippi, the notorious Smokestack Twins, played by Michael B. Jordan, come back. They're going to start a new business. And the stage is set and the party is on. However, some sinister party crashers drop onto the scene, and let's just say, shit hits the fan in spectacular fashion. And I mean spectacular. Because Sinners was some next level shit. I mean, this movie fucking melted my face off, dude. Especially considering I saw it in IMAX. And I get it. You might be saying, oh, you know, the IMAX could be clouding your judgment. Maybe you're overhyping it. And you know what? Maybe that's a little valid. But what I'd also say to that is, shut up. Because it lives up to the hype. I'm telling you now. It's hands down the best of the year, and gotta say, probably one of the best of the last couple years. We got top-notch performances. Not one, but two Michael B. Jordans. Crushing it. Haley Steinfeld, just seducing me through the screen. Crushing it. The story had me invested from the jump, and for me, never took its foot off the gas. I mean, I was just engaged the whole time. Never lost my attention. And I was definitely just as much invested in the characters and like the overall narrative and the themes and stuff, like just as much as I was for all the action and crazy stuff that happens in the second half. But I have to admit, the absolute star of the show and the surprise element for me was the fucking music, dude. Holy shit. The Delta Blues music is the tone setter of the whole thing, no questions asked. And this soundtrack is like unreal, man. Damn near felt like a live concert at times. It definitely did a lot to serve the story, and I mean, it just added some cool like cultural elements as well. Just really flesh out this whole world they're creating. And I suppose the last thing I'm gonna highlight here is, yes, can confirm we do in fact get vampires in this one, and you know that is definitely the batshit crazy element of all of this, naturally, or shit. Supernaturally, I guess. But you can bet your ass that was cool too, and fun. Honestly, it's probably the selling point of the movie, but not the only reason to see the movie. There's a lot more going on here than just what's on the surface, but all in all, I would say it was a lot of fun. It was a wild ride, and I'd say it gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Yeah, definitely watch it. So with all that said, on to the painting itself. And you wouldn't really know by seeing all this footage, but this one proved to be a bit more tricky. There were some challenges along the way with this one for sure. I did have to sketch it a few different times because I started painting it, the first version of it, and the paper did not react very well. So it was bubbling up and things just weren't looking great, so I kind of had to start from scratch on that one. But once we got back and got the sketch all figured out again, I got some stronger watercolor paper, and it'll just be a lot better for this type of thing. So as you've seen so far, I've been really trying to just build this up kind of slowly, creep up on these shadows and these details. I showed at the beginning, but this is all like black India ink, and I'm just doing ink washes of that, you know, slowly building up, getting the values a little bit darker in certain areas. But I also use a little bit of some of these markers too. They're just good for getting down some really dark shadows. Just establish those and get them in the right spots and know where I'm going directionally with all that. And it's interesting because obviously I'm trying to build this up more than anything. But at a certain point, you got to start blasting down some heavier values and establishing all the shading and how that's gonna fall on the form and whatnot. It could be very technical for sure, but once I really started getting these darker values down, it started to take shape for me more. I could really see the vision with it, and it was definitely, getting me more confident in what the final product could be, or it could be a bit closer to what I was hoping for, imagining when I started it up. And of course, the subject of the painting here is Hailee Steinfeld, and there's no hiding it. Obviously, as you're seeing this image getting painted, she does become a bit of an adversary, a bit of a vampire at some point, but it was a standout scene, and you can see it in some of the footage they put out, but it was a standout scene, and it was a cool image. Thought it'd be giving me a good opportunity to mess with a little bit of black and white, and then some limited color you're going to see here a little later on. But yeah, that's really just the process of the approach I took to this one, was slowly building up those washes, those values, and then kind of starting to establish the deep shadows more with those darker black hits of ink. Just trying to create some interesting marks and directionality, going all over this piece, and just try to make the image kind of interpret it in my view. And I'll just let you watch the rest of the process and see how the final piece turns out. And as always, appreciate you stopping by, checking in, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.